So, welcome Linda.
Hi Sarah.
Hi, so this is Sarah from Essentially Flowers Training, and I'm delighted to speak today to one of my graduate students, Linda Perry, who is the owner of Natural Magick. So thank you for coming along and talking to us a little bit today, Linda, about the diploma.
You're very welcome.
And how your experience has been and how flower essences have changed you personally, your life, and also allowed your practice and your business to evolve. So, first of all, congratulations on successfully completing your diploma. I know it happened a few months ago, but I just wanted to acknowledge that for you.
Thank you. Still very excited about it.
I know, it is exciting.
It is.
So let's talk a little bit as to how this process evolved for you. So why did you come on to the diploma? What was the first thing that brought you here?
Well, first of all, I was drawn to anything with flowers because I work as an aromatherapist. I constantly reading up, looking for information, looking for details on anything to do with flowers and scent and how the natural sort of world works, if you like. So I came across obviously your details and thought, oh, I know a little bit about flower essences. I'd taken the rescue remedies and things like that before and kind of knew that they were very natural and that they work and things like that. So I thought that that sounds like that might be a nice thing to look into. So basically did a bit more research, had a sort of sift around your Facebook site and things like that and your website, and was being a bit sort of virtually nosy, if you like. Mm-hmm. And then really sort of reading up and having a look into them, I decided that it would be a really good thing for me to do to complement the aromatherapy, because to me aromatherapy at that time felt very physical. I was sort of, working with the outside the body, if you like, everything kind of from a very therapeutic physical sort of aspect, and was looking for something to maybe complement my business, from my opinion, kind of from the inside out. And that's what drew me with the essences, the fact that you sort of take them internally. Although I found out, obviously doing your course, there's a whole another world to essences and how you can use them as well, but I sort of won't go into that now, but you can. So I looked into that a little bit more and thought, yeah, this kind of really feels right. I looked into what the course was about. We had a chat, didn't we? I messaged you, I think, and then Sarah offered me a chat, and which initially I thought an interview, because that's what it felt like, being very left-brained and in that kind of world still. So I thought, I don't know if I like the idea of that, if I was honest. But I'm really glad that I did, because actually the explanation and talking to somebody one-on-one is so much more different than it is speaking and just reading up about the essences. So we had a chat, and you explained that there were the 12 modules. What really drew to me then at that point is that you didn't just work with one range. There was two reasons for that. One, actually, at the very beginning, I didn't know really there was much more to the world of essences than just the back range, other than what the information that I'd read before. And secondly, I thought modules, that'll keep me on track. I might actually get through them. I might complete them within a good time scale, and there seemed to be quite a lot of support offered. So I thought that was very good, and the fact that there were attended weekends, the fact that I could do some of it online. I'm a mum. I was working full-time at the time of starting the course, not only as an aromatherapist, but I was working in a sort of corporate environment as well. So I had to fit all this in, all this, like, future hope studying, all this stuff I was sort of setting myself up for. I had to be able to fit it in around kind of everything else that I was doing. That's how I felt anyway, that I wanted to fit it in around everything. So it was really flexible, and I just thought, yeah, that fits right with me. and it's got structure and it's got a lot of support. And I like the idea that we can do things like this. You can talk online. I know you don't always use Skype. You use another forum as well, which is much more personal for sort of, we call it a heart space, don't we, actually, Sarah? It's it's a support that we do on a monthly basis, where me and other students at the time can sit with Sarah and sort of participate if we want to, or just sit and listen, or if we didn't even want to attend, then we could sort of listen to everybody else, wasn't it? We could sort of go back and listen to like webinars. I think, sorry, I used the wrong language there, but webinars. So all the modalities that you could kind of possibly want is in this course. You know, you've got face-to-face meetings, we've got attended weekends. So I thought, yeah, I can do that. You know, I can work that into my diary and into my life and get the course done. And when we chatted on the phone, that just clinched it. I'm sure Sarah won't mind me saying, but Sarah shared her journey with me on how she came to be interested in essences, and how that all started for her, and that really connected with me. And that one-on-one, what I felt like was an interview actually wasn't. It was a really informal chat, chatting. Well, we made friends, to be quite honest, you know, immediately. And it was like, yeah, you know, as student and teacher, I think it's important that you visually see each other, because then at some point, or at least hear each other, because you're making that connection. And whether
it becomes a soul to soul connection, doesn't it?
Was definitely
two souls connect and go, yeah, we can do this together. This
feels
comfortable.
Yeah, really empowering each other, I think it was as well. I mean, you have a lot to give us, obviously, as a teacher, and all of your experience and all of your support. And, you know, as a student, you want to know that, well, for me, I'm talking from my personal experience as a student, I wanted to know that I wasn't just submitting a paper that maybe a computer was going to mark, or that I wasn't maybe going to get any feedback or support if I got stuck. Because that's the worry, isn't it, when you study? Well, it was for me, that I thought, well, what if I get stuck? You know, am I going to have to email somebody? Are they not going to come back to me? You know, are they going to think I'm being silly if I ask a question that maybe they think I should know? Are they going to fail me on the course because I asked what flower essence was? You know, that type of thing. But I think by chatting to you, I had that confidence then that, one, yes, I can do this. You know, any doubt was then gone. And secondly, yeah, this is something I want to do, and it's connecting and sort of feeling right already. So it's definitely that's
everything. So that kind of takes us on to the next thing I really wanted to have a chat with you about today, was about how flower essences have helped you. We're going to talk about how they've evolved your practice as a complementary therapist.
Yeah.
But first of all, how it's allowed you to break through areas that you had touched on before with other modalities and where you were with your life, but how the essences had actually allowed you to bloom. So could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, where to start?
Because many people have heard of flower essences. They may have taken ones that they've bought in the chemist, or they may be lucky enough to have experienced some of the other ranges, such as Bush or the Alaskan. Many people have tried FES.
Yeah.
But it's all about the journey, isn't it? It's all about the intention set and actually doing this in a very deep. It's a space that we enter. We're alongside other people, the modules themselves, structure, the healing, and take you from A to B to C. And by the time you finished, you're in this place that you hadn't expected to be in.
Yeah, very much so. Flower essences, I'm going to make a really big statement now, but I can't imagine my life without them. For not only from a therapist point of view, but from a personal point of view. So I would say, from the very beginning, I went into it with my therapist head on and a skill to pass on to clients, and you know, and quite rightly so we should. But I think it was much more of a personal journey to start with, the course itself for me, because I was learning so much about the essences and they were teaching me so much about me. You set an intention each month on what you want to learn and experience and how you want to feel, so you get as much out of it as personally, as like a personal journey, as you do for as a therapist. To bring that into my business, then I don't think I could have ever preconceived at the beginning how much of an impact it would have on my business, because now flower essences and vibrational essences are a big part of everything that I do. They complement all the other modalities. I also work with crystals, I also work with sound, so I do work with other modalities, the aromatherapy. Friends, family, everybody I meet, you know, flower essences really can touch your life, and they changed my life because they made me much more of a I think it made me a better therapist. I think I would say that, because I had the opportunity to come from an inner heart space more than a left brain, this does this train of thought, which I think, you know, looking back at the very beginning of my journey, that's certainly where I was. That's no criticism to anybody who's in that space, because you know, that we're all individuals, aren't we? Some people might not be in that space at all, but the course itself will bring up things that you never knew were there in a positive way. And you've got support, and you've got the intention, and you've got the flowers and the essences all the way through to support you. And I think that's what you then pick up and then take with your clients then for the future. You pick up that support and you carry that with you now forever, because you've got the support there of using, and the knowledge of using the essences and things going forward. So
yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? They shift us on a personal level, on an internal level, so that things are never as they were before. So that whatever happens next, we're always looking at life from this new place, which is always a better place.
Yes.
And it teaches us how to keep going. So you've already touched a little bit on your practice, and thank you for sharing that about how it's affected you. It certainly feels very resonant as to how that's affected me, my own essence journey, and the other people doing the diploma as well. It feels very similar. We all take very similar journeys, although the outside aspects are all different, obviously, because we have different lives and different experiences, but the internal process is very similar. Yeah. So you've touched a little bit already on how this has evolved you as a practitioner and a therapist. So I know that we've talked about flower essences, and that's the vibrational modality that most people here have heard of. On the diploma, we also look at gem essences, essences made from crystals, and also experience other forms of essences that may come through in different forms. And one of them is sound. So, and one of the things that this diploma always does is that it points you in the direction of your own internal compass, your heart compass, and will always take you forward in your own personal life and your business, and obviously our own personal business. However we present ourselves to the world and we pay our bills is a reflection of our own personal self as well. So when you work on one, you always work on the other. So what happens when we come on the diploma, as you are sharing, Linda, is that the next steps will always reflect where we've come from, and therefore how we can express ourselves in the world. So what I'm leading to here is how this has evolved for you and how you're now making sound essences. So why don't you share with everybody as an inspiration as to how they can evolve their businesses in their own way, and also a little bit of how your business is now evolving.
Well, if you'd said to me sort of 18 months ago that I was going to be making essences, I probably would have said, well, I don't know how. Actually, that would have been the first thing I said. But no, now I do work with sounds. I work with tuning forks and pipes.
And you had already done that before you began the diploma, or in fact it was something you were doing at the same time almost, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. The sound was something that I started about halfway through when I was doing the diploma, so learning about the sounds and how that can affect your body on a vibrational level as well. And when I started with you about learning about essences, not only the flower essences, but how the environment and the essence that ultimately that water can capture, the blueprint, if you like, of other things like crystals, which I work with as well. But the sounds, I thought, do you know, yeah, I can really see how the sounds would be incorporated either in with the flowers and gems or as a separate essence. And I've actually recently just created a sound essence, which was made on the 31st of December, so 2013. So it was made at New Year, or the Georgian calendar New Year, depending on which way you're looking at it, and New Moon. And it was made during a wonderful sound ceremony, which was actually a sound punger done with me and a lady called Debbie Walker, and other people who were participating in basically bringing the sounds together for peace and harmony and clarity and new beginnings, for not only us who were taking part in the sound ceremony and anybody who then takes the essence, but really for the whole world, if you like, because as we know with vibrations, you know, they go where they're needed, out there into the world and into the universe. So this is how the essence came about. And we used pipes, we used tuner forks, we used the didgeridoo and drums and the voice and flutes, and yeah, and just created this lovely space where this essence was made. So it's a sound stroke environmental essence that has been brought into the world, which I could probably talk to hours about, but I won't. But who would have thought that doing the course would have inspired me to make these things that so many people are now benefiting from, and experiencing and trying, and really bringing that vibration into their life. So without doing the diploma, I would never have had that guidance, or never listened to my heart, on my instincts, or whichever way you want to look at it, on where my business might end up and where things might end up going for me. So I have made other essences, but they're not quite out there in the world yet. They'll come out when they're ready, and you know, watch this space, I would say. There's other things out there, but it's really inspiring. The whole course is really inspiring, and I don't just say that now, Sarah, because we're chatting. It really is. It's given me a really good push forward in where I want to be on my life personally, how I want to feel on a day-to-day basis, again personally, and then as a therapist, it's given me the tools and support to push my business out there and move things forward in the direction that feels right for me, and is able to support me and my family, which is you know, at the end of the day, why I work, and I want to enjoy my work as I go along, and I very much do so now. Whereas, if I'm honest, again, maybe looking back before I started bringing essences of any description into my life, it was very much of an emotional up and down. Some days I enjoyed things I was doing, other days I didn't, and I use the label enjoyment very loosely there, but I've got a new zest for life that and my soul sings every day now, whereas maybe it wasn't before, and I thank essences for that, and that's what essences and via the diploma can really do for you.
So if somebody's listening and watching this right now and is wondering whether to take the leap, what would you say? In a few words. What's the next step?
I was going to say, I'd say don't wait, leap. if you've got any doubt, have a leap of faith and experience the course, and you'll have all the support and all the love and care that you need, whether you want to be a therapist or whether it ends up a personal journey. I very much think they go hand in hand, to be honest, and I don't think that anybody would maybe think anything differently at the end, but I'd say take the leap of faith, enjoy the journey, and if you're in any doubt and you've got any questions or any worries, just to have a really honest, heartfelt chat with Sarah, and she will give you that information. She will put any worries in your mind at rest, because she'll either give you the answers to your questions with support and love, or point you in the right direction of where to go. So that would be my sort of thoughts on it, really.
Thank you, Linda. Well, thank you for sharing your journey with everybody today. It's very inspiring to listen to it all over again. Thank you for finding the diploma and for finding and going through it. I'm very glad that you came on the diploma, because it's lovely to watch everybody evolve. As with everybody that comes on the diploma, I'm always very humbled and honoured to watch everybody's journeys as they go through. So thank you. Many blessings on your business. Anybody that wants to find out more about Linda's essences, you will see her website at the bottom of this video, so you can go and find out more. Okay, thank you so much, Linda, and looking forward to the next part.
Oh, wait and see. Watch this space.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.